Hello, everybody. Welcome to Zake and Zach. And I'm Zake, and with me I have here Mr.
Nobody.
Yes. So, it's been a while, but I've decided, you know what? Let's, since I actually have the funds now, I actually have the funds to commission another comic. You know what? Let's try another Fandom Island thing.
Yeah, it should be fun.
It's been a while. So let me introduce Mr. Nobody to the concept of Fandom Island. What is Fandom Island?
I have no idea.
Do you want to watch it first?
Sure, we can watch it. No, I don't care.
Yes.
Whatever will. I know nothing. I am totally a boomer on this subject, but
it's pretty random. So,
well, the random stuff is usually the most fun stuff. Like early on the internet, when people were, and even early on in YouTube, when stuff was just total BS and nothing made sense. It was kind of more fun then.
okay. Let's see. Why can't I okay, there we go. Organized by views. As you can see, this video got 139,000 views as of it was published in 2018. Part 1 got almost 140,000 views.
That's crazy.
Part 2 got 64,000. 64. And Part 3 got 26,000 views. Anyway, hello Tech Pug. How's it going? How have you been?
How you doing?
Anyway, let me. Hopefully you hear this. By the way, I think you should.
Probably, I should.
If not, don't worry. You can just read the stuff.
The dialogue tree.
All right. Do you see this?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I hear it.
Hold on. It's froze for a second.
They should have.
What is it doing? You see it still, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, I see it.
Good.
Been here an hour ago. I thought you trapped them on the boat, Sans.
I did. Papyrus is in charge of bringing them here, though.
Papyrus? Are you serious? That bonehead.
So these are the Doki and the what's it called?
Character Sans.
Undertale, yes.
Huh. You were right, Sans. Papyrus can get the job done.
I have captured all the humans. Yeah, they fell for my.
Just so you know, I wasn't the only person who wrote
this. I told him that it was his idea.
I'm not a human, you bone bag.
Let's play.
Well, what are you? You look like a human to me.
Welcome to Fandom Island, the happiest place on Earth. If you break the rules, we will break your existence. No, literally, we can delete you all. We brought you on this island for a very special event. You are to complete multiple challenges in order to win a prize. Participation is mandatory. It is the survival of the fittest. Your prize will be your life and $1 million. If you break the rules, I will personally delete you. As you can see, your weapons and abilities have been temporarily suspended. Yes, even you, Kara. I am Monica, your main host, and this is Sans, the second main host.
I got promoted from assistant. I will be your unfunny host. There are several challenges we made for you.
That guy's dead inside, man.
We will reveal the first one very soon.
He actually is a good friend of mine.
Regarding the fancy donuts that we have built for you. Don't mind the ligma epidemic.
So,
we're already. I can't ignore the epidemic. They keep telling me I have to wear a
Drama
mask.
Island?
It's getting annoying.
Yeah, I thought of that as well. You're gonna pay for this, Monica.
This is before COVID, so I didn't know that there was going to be an epidemic.
Not let me out of this madhouse. Yeah, you cannot keep us here against our will.
If you do not let me off this island, I will send you through an endless genocide.
Now, we don't want to get
Jesus,
violent
what
against the hosts, do we? Unless you want to.
That is my voice, by the way.
We have set up several
Wow,
challenges for you
that
on
was
this
pretty
island.
good.
You need to complete each
Jesus.
of them in order to get out of here. The island has multiple sections, some still under construction, but we have completed several for you to compete in for now. Take it away, Sans.
You remember
Welcome to the
Slender Man,
Slender
right?
Forest. If you get lost, that is your fault.
Again?
It's very scary
Slender
and
Man.
somewhat dangerous.
Yeah, I know who
Coincidentally,
Slender
it's
Man
one of
is.
the first challenges. The rules
Played
are
that
pretty
game
simple.
for a couple
Whatever
times.
team gets 10 pages
Wasn't
first
bad for
wins. Of course,
first
some of you
few
might
times,
not
but
come
after
out
that, I
of
just
there. But
it's kind of the same
at
thing
least you
over and
can
over
give my
again.
old acquaintance Slendy some company. Well, I overstayed my welcome. He's still angry about that sandwich in middle school. Let me
So
escort you all to
Samson-
your dorms.
Where are we going?
Weren't you paying attention when the skeleton spoke?
Yeah.
No.
Stupid human.
Come on, he was probably smarter than you.
I'm gonna tell Mom about the death trap Sans is putting us through.
Alright, you were divided in two teams. Everyone who came on the first boat, you are Team Yandere, and people who came on the second ship are Team Bad Fandoms. Team Yandere, you are going to be in the East Dorms, and Team Bad Fandoms, you are going to be in the West Dorms.
Take your rest, guys. Tomorrow is going to be a wild day. Make sure you rest up and not get ligma.
That was a
Shut
meme.
up. In the forest
Jesus.
challenge, can I use your shield?
If you touch my senpai ever, I will personally push you towards Slenderman. Same goes to you. Well, looks like I'm
Okay.
not sleeping tonight.
Come on, it does not look bad. Sans made them for us.
Do you remember what Sans did to us in the last timeline?
Guys, I'm not feeling well.
Oh, come on! You can handle a little ligma. Can't you? We need to get him a doctor. The papyrus guy looked like he knew what he was doing. Are you serious? He needs a real doctor. A ligmologist.
We need to do math now. 1 + 1 equals...
5.
Yeah. Did someone want a ligmologist?
Do they realize
This is-
that when midnight
Okay,
strikes...
so pause for a second. This is the randomest thing ever. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's pretty random.
But for
Having
sure... Yes?
I'm having trouble catching all the references. All my references come from 80s movies.
No, they're all dead. All the references here are already dead. A long time ago.
They'll have to do their challenge and one of them is not coming back alive?
Well, I think Sayori might die first, since she did answer Baldi's question incorrectly.
Who knows? Baldi might die first.
Hey! What's this with Baldi? Jesus.
Nah. This is gonna give me nightmares. Wow, I feel a lot better.
Don't watch
Come
Shallow
on!
if that's all
She
you
got
need
one
nightmares.
question wrong. No big deal. What is going on? I thought we were going to rest. I do not have certain tools that I need to calm myself
Just so you know,
down.
she means knife.
Frisk, when we enter the forest, stay close. But not that close.
Alright, folks, it is midnight. Time to read some poetry. Oh, just kidding. Time to go to Slender Forest. May the odds be in your favor. Remember, if you do not work together, you have a greater chance of losing.
If you have any bones to pick with each other, pick them now or forever hold your breath. Now follow me.
Well, humans and brother, I have to go and clean the West dorms from Senpai's ligma. Nah.
Do you regret that sandwich?
Every single bone in my body does.
I regret the
also regret
sandwich.
stealing one of his sandwiches in high school.
Collect the 10
I
pages
regret
and
the
come back
Burger
to
King
camp.
one I had
Whichever
earlier.
team collects 10 pages first wins.
There are a total of 25 pages, so they are in an abundance. Just make sure not to take the pages that I drew sandwiches on. We will see you guys at the camp. I do not feel like dealing with Slendy today.
So yeah, there was like a lot of people that worked on it. I wasn't the only
Well.
person that wrote this, by the way.
Cool. That looked like it took a lot of work.
Not that much.
Well, it certainly is random. Seems like the kind of quality internet stuff that would make me interested.
Huh. You want to see the rest of the episodes, or do you think we should just get back to writing?
Yeah, let's just go. Let's dive into the pool.
Okay, just so you know, they survived Slender Man and they survived Five Nights at Freddy's, though some people got eliminated completely.
Oh no!
So the people that got eliminated was Senpai. So obviously Yandere-chan was pretty sad about that.
What is her even motivation after that? Who does she get attached to?
Well, that's the issue. Actually, that's for you to figure out.
Oh,
We have this thing, and this guy's also dead, by the way, just so you know.
well, he looks nondescript, so that's probably for the best.
These two are dead. Everyone else is alive. So as you can see, we have Monica from Undertale as the main characters, Sans from Undertale, Yandere-chan, Kokona, Baldi, Playtime. I mean, Baldi's dead. Senpai from Yandere Simulator is dead.
He's dead.
Frisk from Undertale, he's still there.
Yeah, he's dead.
No, he's not dead.
He's not. Oh, he's still there.
Yeah,
Oh, you asked me if I was
though what I'm like proposing is, imagine like if Frisk and Kara in the Deltarune game, they become Chris. They kind of are the same being in that game for some reason. Anyway, haven't finished that game, so we'll figure it out. And then we have all the Doki Doki characters: Sayori, Yuri, and Natsuki, and of course, the hosts, Monica and Sans.
Cool.
So, chapter 3 was done. We finished chapter 3, and the comic was published. Now we are on to chapter 4. And we should call it... What should we call it?
So we're still what's the new area? Are we still in Five Nights at Freddy's, or where are we at?
What I'm proposing is we do Five Nights at Freddy's again, but this time it's just like, instead of being in their area, they instead what's it called? Without the hosts knowing, they infiltrated the dorms or the facilities, if you know what I'm saying. So they're rebelling against the hosts of the game.
Ooh, and they're risking deletion.
Well, that's what the thing is, the host actually forgot to delete them, if you know what I'm saying. Disable them, and they put themselves all back together. Hold on, I'll show you that. I'll show you that last bit of them actually doing that. Because Slenderman's actually dead. But these guys, they were destroyed, but they weren't like necessarily eliminated, if you know what I'm saying.
They reincarnated themselves as themselves or something?
Yes. Oh, hello, Leavelu. How's it going? You actually voiced one of the but it's she goes by Kaz Jazzy now. She was actually one of the fan voices that voiced, I think, Playtime.
Huh, cool.
Yes. So,
hello, and how are you?
Just to catch you up, Mr. Nobody. By the way, as we write, we can also TechPog and Kaz. You can pose what happens to the plot next, because you guys have been loyal subscribers of the channel for now. How many years has it been since like 2018? 4?
Yeah, 4.
4 years or so.
I can do that much math in my head.
Let's go get the contestants.
Okay, so this was the ending of like the last episode.
Okay.
Where's Senpai? This is Senpai. Freddy turned him into a plushie. Mine!
So they were all
A bunch of different girls are obsessed with Senpai.
Who's a
Man,
plushie
that guy
now?
has
Don't
all the
worry.
luck.
I am not just a ligmologist. I am also a seamstress. I will save him.
What a ripoff this place is. We are here to escort you back to your dorms. You did well.
Good job, everyone. Be assured, our ligmologist will take good care of your senpai. You deserve a day off and a fancy feast tomorrow.
You okay there, bud?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's going to take a while to put myself back together. Yar, they're not paying me enough for this.
They're not paying us at all. You know what? We should all go on a strike.
Get it?
Are they going to unionize?
Yes!
I wonder what the symbol of the Five Nights at Freddy's union would be. The electricians union has a hand holding like bolts. The sheet metal union has
It just
a
Freddy
pair of
Fast.
scissors.
I would say it would be Freddy Fazbear's head, like the original logo, but I don't know. What should we add? It's an maybe it's an animatronic hand or something like that.
Yeah,
At
because
Freddy's.
you don't want I feel like maybe I'm wrong. I feel like Freddy Fazbear's was named after an owner. Is that true?
Yes, but also. Oh, someone says a pizza icon.
Yeah, that'll work. 'Cause you don't,
Oh, a pizza icon with a fucking hammer.
or a pizza icon with an animatronic hand serving it.
Okay, so, this whole thing's gonna open like absolutely differently, like compared to like all the other stuff where it's like Monica and Sans usually like who are the hosts. This is actually gonna be opening with like a union meeting.
Yeah, that would be great. Like the Freddy Fazbear animatronics, maybe they're still being fixed up, and they're having a debate in the union hall about what their demands of Sans and what Mariko are going to be. We could have a conversation about whether or not their pay is enough, whether or not their vacation days are being resolved, those kinds of things.
And if they don't follow through, like what's it called? They're gonna destroy. They're gonna like destroy the island anyway by self-destructing, or just like destroying all the contestants and stuff.
Yeah, so they're playing the workers are playing hardball. Either you abide by our terms, or we ruin your game and also kill you.
Five Nights at Freddy's union icon, a pizza with a hammer and a cycle. No, a hammer and what do they make pizza with? Spatula.
You can have that triangle. You could have that No, you could have that curved pizza cutter. Like when I worked at Pizza Hut, it was basically just a piece of sheet metal that was like it was a half moon. It had a fold for a handle, but it was just a piece of sharp sheet metal.
And
that
Pat
had been
says pizza wheel.
Or a pizza wheel, that'll work too.
What do you want to do? A curved pizza cutter or a pizza wheel? I think pizza wheel might be better.
Yeah, we would have to figure out how to organize the images on the Union sticker, though.
We'll just make it like we can just tell the artist and he'll do it himself usually.
Yeah.
Praise union icon. A pizza with a hammer and a pizza wheel.
Yeah, that would be cool.
On its crust. Let's make it crust. Yes.
That'll work. What's their union motto?
What would it be?
There's some like building strong or some like I don't know a lot of union mottos, but I know that they're usually there. Um, what would be a good one? Uh, something. I'm trying to think of how to work in the fact that their bodies, like when you stuff a person's body in there, they get crushed by all the inner electronics or something.
Yes.
Um,
What? What should we, okay, fans? What should be the union motto? Well, so let me put this question on there for question for the chat. What should be the union motto? I like that. I like that one. Down with puns and poems. Basically, criticizing both Sans and Monocat. That's what it means. But we need something more specific to the pizza to the pizza place. You know.
yeah, maybe you people who know a lot about the lore
Yes.
can put in something spooky about how it was haunted. Wasn't it haunted or something? I can't remember what the there. It's
1
been a
second.
while since I watched since I watched Freddy Fazbear
Okay.
lore YouTube videos.
Yes. It's been a while as well for me, kind of, with writing these sort of comics. So Down with the Puns and Poems is good, but also what else did you say, Mr. Nobody? I kind of didn't catch it because I was distracted. Can you repeat that, if you don't mind?
Oh, like the something about how the bodies are crushed by their inner mechanics when you get stuffed in the suit.
It could be like basically crush the unfair or something like that. Anyway, while we wait for another response from the audience, I mean, TechPack, if no one says anything more clever, I'll do the Down with the Puns and the poems, but think of something more clever than that. While that happens, we can go on our tangent, which was topic of our podcast and stuff, right?
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about polyamory / open marriage because I really don't understand what the difference is between them. I have opinions. I for as far as I understand, like the difference is so similar that there might not be a distinction. Um. And then we wanted to talk about Neuralink and how crazy Elon Musk is. And then we
Yes.
wanted to talk about movies that were
Oh,
important to us.
speaking of Elon Musk and Neuralink, they should. We could actually. This is gonna sound like a wild idea, but you know what we could do? You know
What?
who's going to stop the strike? Elon.
Oh, the Neuralink robots are gonna. They're gonna get
Elon.
Neuralink.
We're gonna have Elon Musk appear in our comic.
He's trying to like buy out Freddy Fazbear's or something,
Yeah.
and the machines are trying to stop the buyout or something like that.
Or like we could get like a character that's like has a Neuralink like implanted and just like by union busting he means just absolutely like going ham on freaking on the electronics. Get it?
Yeah, he won't need animatronics anymore because he'll have robot workers. Well, not he'll have human workers that are controlled by Neuralink, so they're basically robots, but they're people. And the reason they're trying to replace the animatronics is because the people are 56% more 56 like you could the robots are 13% likely not to kill you, and the robot and the people with the Neuralink are 56% likely not to kill you, or something like that. Like they're still probably going to kill you, but they're marginally more safe or something. If that makes sense.
Yes. They're on the whim of to Elon, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so hello Jay Victory, how's it going? We were actually discussing how your first attempt at voicing Sans was interesting. So, Kaz actually says, so a quote that has to do with FNAF and rivalry. Yes, that's what it has to do with. And unionizing. Anyway, first question though to the audience, and I think polyamory is like not a marriage, it's a lot more people that live together, I would say, and have like relationships with each other. It's just not just what's it called, two people having a relationship. Like when it comes to what's it called, open marriage. It's like you live like a couple, but sometimes you meet with another couple or bring another person. Sometimes have like a one-off, if you know what I'm saying.
So polyamory is more like multiple people in multiple relationships. Maybe they're all married or not.
Yes.
And open marriage is a couple that's married, and maybe they're just like, well, we have fuck buddies.
Basically.
Or something like, oh, okay.
Yes. And I mean, I'm not judging here. You do you, but at the same time, personally, I'm a serial monogamist. I just don't like the idea of an open marriage or an open relationship or polyamory for myself. For myself, it might suit other people, not me though.
Yeah, I've been in relationships where I've experimented with polyamory and open marriages. It's not for me. It was basically mostly out of curiosity. Like polyamory and other stuff were kind of booming in terms of like popularity, or at least conversationally on the internet. And I was like, hey, this sounds interesting. Why not see what it's like? But beyond just curiosity, it's not something that I would ever do again.
Okay, so Jay Victory says, I'm a fan of polyamory, but most likely I'll never be in one.
Well, here's
don't cut yourself. Don't discount it. Anything can happen. Yeah, you were saying.
So the thing about polyamory is, I have multiple reasons why it doesn't work for me. And the biggest one is time management. Even when most people in relationships in this country, both of them have jobs. It's fairly normal for a couple to both be working 40 hours a week. And typically, you're not with your partner during those hours. So that's 40 hours a week that you're not with your partner. Just standard. And there are many people that work more hours, but let's just say 40 hours on average. And then you take into account that you sleep every day of the week, usually for around 8 hours for most of us. And while you may be sleeping with your partner, you're asleep. You're not spending time with your partner during those hours. And then you take into account all the chores you have to do that you don't do with your partner, drive time to and from work that you're not with your partner, all these little things that have a claim on your time. And there's many people, when they sit down and add this stuff up, like the cumulative hours they have together is basically like a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You have like 48 hours of actual awake time that you're devoting to your partner in a week. and then you try to spread that out amongst multiple people, even one more person. If you're trying to be fair with all your partners, even if you only have one more partner, that's only 24. You get 1 day with each of your partners out of the week.
Yeah, and that's very inconvenient and would keep your schedule very full unless you don't have like a job and stuff.
Yeah, but for most of us, we do.
Yeah, and usually I mean, I don't doubt there are like good that there are healthy polyamorous relationships, but usually from what I've like seen, it's just multiple dudes and one girl, basically.
Yeah. That probably happens.
So it's basically a bunch of simps. Anyway,
I mean,
yeah,
to a certain degree.
For you, I think it doesn't work from a practical standpoint. For me, it doesn't work from no, I wouldn't say moral. I'm not gonna like judge you for it. I'm just saying it doesn't work from like it just doesn't sit well with me personally. If you know what I'm saying, to share my partner with someone else, it just kind of doesn't work with me, man.
And I'm not gonna lie, when we were experimenting with that, I felt jealousy too. But so I'm not gonna claim
Ownership,
that
yeah.
I'm like a pure beam of sunlight and I don't feel any emotions. I do. But
Okay, just to interrupt you for a second. Okay, so someone we have three options, and you three options for now for the slogan, and honestly, you can choose it at some point. So you will choose what's his face? What's your name, Mister Nobody? Yes.
Yeah.
Pizza. So pizza and we have so far we have Down with Pounds and Poems. No more pizza for entertainment. Pizza and poems don't mix. What else?
What was the second one?
The second one, no more pizza for entertainment, and then pizza and poems don't mix.
I like pizza and poems don't mix.
That's pretty good.
I like that one.
Maybe we should do pizza puns and poems don't mix, or is it a mouthful?
Pizza, puns, and poems don't mix.
So, and J Victory says, actually, good question. LOL. Are you really on the left if you're not in a relationship with multiple people? You can still be on the left, and you can still be on the left and not be in a relationship with multiple people.
So. Well, as I said multiple times in the last podcast, I don't subscribe to any particular side. A lot of my positions might align left, but there are personal things that there are a lot of positions I hold that you might vehemently disagree with and think that I wasn't on the left, depending on our conversation.
But you did support Bernie back in the day, though.
Well, yeah, but I didn't support him because he was on the left. I supported him because number one, I liked his ideas, and number two, the things that I disagreed with him on, there's a difference between a politician that has no positions sincerely held and a politician that does hold sincere positions. If you are really in it to make things better, regardless of your positions, I feel like I have a better chance of arguing my case with you because you're acting in good faith. A politician who has no morals, like I would argue Hillary, somebody who just moves with the wind and does whatever is necessary to get elected, I don't think that I could present arguments to her that she would that the public disagreed with, because she wouldn't care what my individual thoughts are, even if
So
even if my positions are more moral from my point of view
Jay Victor was
than
actually
say the public.
Jay Victor was joking. I should have noted the laughing sign. He says, "I know. I was making a joke about the criticism that conservatives have about the left-wing people, basically."
Oh, I know. I was just, I just wanted to cover that.
Yes, yes. My it's that joke that I remember. There was this like joke with polyamory and simps and stuff. This was kind of funny. It was like, yes, me, my dad, and my mother's boyfriend are gonna meet up together and watch some movies.
Yeah, it is fucking weird. There are people who argue that polyamory is somehow immoral, or and there are people on the polyamory side that argue that will make arguments that anthropologically speaking, polyamory is more natural for human. And the reality is, from my I won't say my opinion in that situation is, um, I think they're both kind of bereft of moral content. From my point of view, it's whatever consenting adults do in their relationship is fine. Um, there are people who enjoy having multiple relationships. They get a lot of happiness from that, and if they can negotiate with their partners in such a way that everyone is satisfied, good for them. But there are also people that are not comfortable with that situation, and that's totally fine too.
Okay,
Uh,
can I 1 second before we continue this? Audience, please name me other than the people that we already have, which is like Bonnie, Freddy, Foxy, Chica, and Baby, uh, who were in the last part. Who and Marionette? Who should we add to the animatronics list? Who are unionizing? That's for one. And two, I haven't played Security Breach, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Mr. Nobody. You haven't played the new Five Nights at Freddy's, have you? Obviously.
I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's. The only participation I've had in Five Nights at Freddy's was like watching the old Markiplier videos and watching the occasional lore video, but I've never played any of it.
Yes, I've only played a few, but I'm a little like I mean, we can play it at some point. It would be a very interesting like game to do a podcast with. Imagine if we just talk about polyamory. Get it?
Yeah. My Five Nights at Freddy's, and you saw this with the Markiplier playthroughs too. It's kind of a gimmick game, and I'm not putting that down. It was a successful game for what it was. But the whole point of that game was you get jump scared. And the first few times you play through it, the jump scares work. Maybe many times, depending on who you are, the jump scares work. But eventually, it just becomes kind of a thing that you have to endure, and the rest of the game doesn't have enough content, in my opinion, to make it worth playing multiple times.
So it doesn't have a replay value.
Well, it does have some replay value. Like, again, it's a relatively short game. You can play it maybe 10, 20 times and be satisfied with your purchase, feel like you got a good quality experience out of it. But there are when I buy a game, I'm hoping for something that is either full of content that takes hours to explore, or
Like Skyrim.
or a tight, satisfying story that even if I know how it ends, is still incredibly satisfying to to pretend that I'm participating in, like BioShock. Like I'll play BioShock over. Like I know BioShock like the back of my hand.
Yeah, I like Bioshock
But
too, by the way, just so you know.
yeah, like I know BioShock like the back of my hand. But I'll happily play it every year, once or twice for the rest of my life because that story is just so satisfying.
Yes, we need to add more animatronics, and also J Victory says I found that jump scares are scary at first, but then they just get annoying.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yes.
The first, depending on who you are and what your tolerance is for jump scares, they work the first few times. They get you, but eventually they just kind of run out of value. And considering that the jump scares are kind of the main point of the game, once that loses its intensity, the game kind of becomes banal.
Yeah, it becomes like a chore almost, you know.
Which it was for Markiplier. Like eventually, the only reason Markiplier played it was for the difficulty settings. He played the sequels and stuff because Five Nights at Freddy's was so hot in his channel and such. And no judgment there. You got to play the game, but the initial game, you can watch him. He doesn't give a shit in the end about any of the scares. He's just focused on trying to beat something really difficult.
Yes. A lot of people have respect for Markiplier for that reason, but I don't know. I like the guy. He's actually pretty genuine, from what I've been. Please, okay. So the other thing that we should discuss in one of the podcasts, and we should not like do a game or anything for that one. We could literally just talk about it, and people would tune in. Is you know what it is?
What?
Just all the YouTubers about which like all the crap came out from. Like the amount of YouTubers that are like there's some people that like got canceled for like no reason at all that shouldn't have happened. But there are people that like people thought they were nice, and then like it came out that they were like very vile, like sex offender level, like horrible. Some YouTubers.
I mean, I get that. People do that kind of content all the time, and again, I'm not going to judge. You gotta get those views. But from my point of view, again, if before the internet came out, the reality of the situation was that there was a lot of adults who, when they were kids, did a lot of stupid shit. You got to remember.
Yes, but no, but I mean, yeah, they did a lot of stupid stuff, but they didn't, I don't know, assault their cat in a very inappropriate manner. I mean, some people did, but 90% of the population did not do that. They did not.
You're correct.
Like, that's what Shane Dawson did.
He assaulted his cast or his cat?
His cat. In an inappropriate way. And he still came back on YouTube. That fuck. Anyway. Let's save that old anger to... I mean, yes, I'll elaborate. What was your question? But then we should go back to our own topic, and then we can do this one on Friday, maybe. Just roast some of those.
Did he sexually assault his cat, or did he like hit it or something?
No, sexually.
Jesus. Fucking bestiality, people.
Yeah, also a lot of other stuff.
Well, anyway.
Oh yes. Okay, so we should add Springtrap 2 to the list. Springtrap. Well, anyway. let's continue with the whole polyamory thing. Going back to there, we got distracted. Go ahead. Yeah, and people
So
in the chat are saying Shane Dawson is gross.
yeah, a lot of people are gross.
Yeah, but not to that level. Anyway,
Yeah, but
go ahead.
so the first, so like I said, the first thing that I mentioned went through it, I think, pretty thoroughly. There's a time management issue there. And then there comes an issue of the reality of the situation is that that I don't care how much you love your partner, relationships are a lot of fucking work.
Yes.
Like there are so many decisions that you have to make as a couple that are difficult enough just for two people. For instance, finances. How much money do we each have to spend on our hobbies? How much, what bills should we really focus on trying to pay off? Like a lot of people have student loan debt. Should we focus on paying off my debt since it's smaller, or should we pay off your debt since it's bigger?
Also, imagine if all that debt just gets combined once you marry. You have to deal with $1 million. Imagine that.
I mean, I don't know if it's that crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are people with $200,000 worth of debt because they got married. Like,
you know when polyamory would be economically feasible, though, in my opinion.
What?
If there was universal basic income, like Andrew Yang proposed, like $1,000.
Yeah. Like, yeah, and that is an argument that people have made about polyamory. Like, if you wanted to be pragmatic about it, the more people you have that are willing to share resources together, the more opportunities you have to conquer bills and pursue a financial future that is a lot more steady. But anyway,
but you don't have to be married to them. You can just be fucking roommates. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. You can try to just have a really close friendship. You don't even necessarily need to be in a relationship to pool your resources together. So it's not really necessary to involve sex in that scenario. Like, there are even people that pool their resources with their elderly parents. Like the parents are retired, they're starting to get sick, and they need somebody to take care of them. Their kid's like, hey, I'm still broke as a joke and need some extra income, and you need help getting groceries. So move in with me. So that happens all the time. But so polyamory, so in a relationship with just two people is full of decisions that are super complicated, and there are conversations that you might have with a partner that could end in knockout, drag out, screaming matches because you disagree so much. I mean, maybe you'll if you love each other, you try to stay together and resolve it, but these things can get incredibly heated depending on what your viewpoint is. And polyamory just multiplies that complexity.
So
you have to balance.
Well, that's a good point that you bring up, actually. Like, how would you imagine if one partner wants it to be a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And the other partner wants it to be a completely opposite way of that.
Yeah, you have to be. If you're gonna pursue, like, one thing that you would absolutely have to be, if you were gonna pursue a polyamorous relationship, is really good. Number one, at juggling different responsibilities, and number two, you'd have to be an amazing communicator.
Which most of us which most of us aren't, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, we're not.
chat. Speaking of good being an amazing communicator, so I think we have our animatronics. We can add more to the list. Who would be from these guys, from these animatronics, an amazing communicator? Should Freddy be the union leader because it's his place, or should someone else be the union leader? What do you think?
Well, Freddy Fazbear is a representation of owner. Should be the leader of the union. That's a conflict of interest.
Yes. So okay. So actually, the first page should be about the first panel should be about electing a union leader. Panel 2. Okay. We should actually hold on. We don't need to rank panel 2. Let's see who says this. Let's see. Baby says the doll check. We should elect. We should elect a union leader. And what's his name? Freddy goes. What should Freddy say? Because he's supposed to be like he obviously wants to be. The place is called Freddy Fazbear, so I should be naturally be the leader, right?
Yeah. So he would probably say something. Well, as the brand ambassador to the public, it's only natural that I also be the ambassador of our union to the corporation.
Oh, it will be what's it called? The union ambassador to the corporation. There we go. That's good.
And then somebody else brings up my argument. What I said earlier was like, man, you represent the fucking owner. I don't want you to. I feel like even if you are dedicated to this union, I don't feel like somebody who represents the owner should be leading the union.
I don't think that someone who is representing the owner should be leading the union. Okay, so page 2. Bonnie and Freddy stare at each other angrily. So someone's asking, where's this comic going? Towards a communist revolution. Anyway, no. They're gonna red terror this crap, right?
Which, by the way, I've never understood how a union is inherently communist.
It's not, but they try to pretend that they are here in the States.
Yeah, I don't see how capitalism is negatively affected by people. Like, the whole point of capitalism is negotiating prices for services or goods. Who cares if it's a lot of people negotiating the pay for their services? Like, how does the amount of people negotiating stop it from being part of the capitalistic process?
That's a good point, by the way. And most developed countries that are not the U.S. have the union and the what's it called? Of course, the revolution is gonna be crushed. J. Victory, I'm sorry. We have an idea of Elon Musk intervening to union bust. Anyway. Anyway, so Bonnie and Freddy stare at each other angrily. Let's see. Chica says, "Who's the chicken?" the chicken. Chica, and he goes like, guys, we need to put this to a vote. Instead of fighting amongst each other. Okay, guys, we need to put this on tone instead of fighting amongst each other. That's what our oppressors is that good?
That'll work.
That's what our oppressors want us to do. Okay, so Springtrap. I know I was not here during the events of the last the last challenge. But I would like to put forth my candidacy, as I know more than I know. What should we say? Okay, everybody, give us an idea what Springtrap says, because I have no idea what he would say. Let's go back to
he has to present himself as a strong enough leader who will stand up to the corporation and really fight for the animatronic workers' rights. So, again, if you know anything of the lore that shows that Springtrap is especially convincing or willing to put up a fight to back up his claims, because anybody can claim that they're a tough guy, but he has to have something. He has nothing, and that's why nobody votes for him. And maybe you guys know of a character that would actually be a strong motivator for change against the corporation.
Yes, but while the chat figures this out, let's go back to what was our topic?
Polyamory.
Polyamory, yes. Go back to polyamory.
So the work of the relationship is multiplied exponentially depending on how many partners you have. And lastly, the ultimate issue for me is finding love is fucking hard. And when you find someone who loves you, you want to hold on to that like it's fucking gold. Because the likelihood of it happening again is incredibly rare. I'm not saying you're not valuable or whatever. Everybody is, but convincing another human being to invest their entire life supporting you, while you support them in return, that's not an easy sell. You have to have certain qualities that convince a potential partner that you're worth their time. And once somebody makes that decision, I really don't see the point of looking for more. Because again, you kind of already, if you fall in love and the other person falls in love with you and you both commit, you've kind of already won one of life's biggest challenges.
Well, yeah. But at the same time, if someone comes in and tries to ruin that, you would kind of be angry about that, right? Have you? Okay, so Aaron found hello. We are writing Fandom Island, a comic. So just to fill you in, the animatronics are unionizing now. So we're writing the episode 4 of the comic, and we're looking for like advice from the chat, basically, for what he should say. As we do that, though, we discuss our own topic with polyamory. Okay, continue.
So, if you've already won one of life's, like, for most people, finding someone to love is like the top of the list.
I mean, people do it, succeed in that. I don't know how, but they succeed in that.
Yeah, lots of people do. But let's be fair, lots of people don't. Lots of people will go for many, many years serial dating, maybe even not dating at all, before they find someone who is worth their time, they're willing to love, and the other person is willing to love them. It's not easy to find that. It's kind of a miracle it happens at all.
Yes, and the fact, I mean, from what I've heard, polyamorous relationships are kind of like, some people say, oh yeah, they kind of prevent monogamous relationships and stuff, but at the same time, I don't agree with that. You know why? I feel like people who would want to be in polyamorous relationship would be in polyamorous relationships anyway. If you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
they were already predisposed towards that. They were already open to the idea more than, and they liked it probably. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Me personally, nah, that doesn't work for me, dog. Not at all.
Yeah. So, and here's the other thing. Let's say you do end up falling in love with more than one person and you all decide to be together. What happens when one of your partners starts to feel jealous and says, like, you're not spending enough time with me, or I feel like maybe you buy her a birthday present and partner's like, and your other partner's like, you bought her this amazing birthday present last year, you bought me a piece of shit, it didn't have any romantic
And then it
value, it was
starts
like some socks
spiraling.
or something. Yeah. It's fucking complicated, and nothing is more complicated than balancing love. Like, fucking, even there are people even kids of parents will sometimes grow up with complexes, feeling like their parents loved their siblings more than them. That happens all the goddamn time. It's not unreasonable to expect that if you love multiple people, that one of them will start to feel like you love one partner more than her or more than him.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's why communication is extremely important, especially in the beginning of the relationship. J Victory says. But J Victory, you and me, everybody, if we like just take it into account, I know, we're not good communicators. I've barely met people that are good communicators. You know, I say one thing and they misunderstand as I say something else. So it's just like that creates a lot of issues, man.
And here's the other thing. It might not matter how good of a communicator you are. It might be the case that your partner is a terrible communicator. That happens all the time too. People grow up in situations watching their parents communicate and they learn from them. And lots of times people, what they learn is to be passive aggressive.
Hello,
To
White
expect
Fox. How's it going?
How you doing? They expect their partner to be able to read their mind. You know, they feel like their partner should be able to tell that something is wrong based on hints that seem obvious to them, but the partner is oblivious.
By the
And
way,
these are again. Go ahead.
reminder to the chat: what should Springtrap say to be elected as the union representative? What should Springtrap say to be? Also, J Victory says, pull yourself up your bootstraps and get better at communicating. Then, basically. Anyway, going back to you, Mr. Nobody. What was the whole point? What were you doing?
And I agree that you should do everything you can, no matter what your relationship is like, to be the best communicator that you can. But as a guy that's been in relationships that have ended badly, sometimes you do all that you can, and your partner, for whatever reason, still decides that it's not enough.
Okay.
Monogamous.
So Springtrap should make a I always come back joke. So Cat says,
I always bounce back. Yeah.
As I always come back stronger, even if I lose. I will represent. Why do I feel like my jokes are not landing today? LOL. I think, J Victory, I think I'm not. I think the problem is that Mr. Nobody does not see the chat, and the way I read it is not like doesn't sound like a joke. If you know what I'm saying, so we kind of missed them. Okay, I always come back stronger if I lose. I will represent this union over and over and over again. Anyway. Yes.
Yeah. If you're joking a lot, like, forgive me for taking it totally seriously. One of the things you got to remember about me is I tend to be incredibly oblivious to intention. My sense of humor is such that I tend to my attempts at jokes are essentially sledgehammer attacks. So when I'm joking, I want to hit you so hard that you have no chance of not thinking it's a joke. But unless it's something like that, sometimes I miss out on the point.
Also, hello, Tibbits. How's it going? And
how you doing?
Tibbits says, "Boy, I'm glad to see this back." Yes, I'm also glad to finally come back to this because I do have the funds now to commission this comic.
Yeah, and just like he came back, Springtrap will come back.
Yes. Oh, actually, that's a good idea. That's kind of meta. This is very important. Just like the creator of this comic. There we go. Okay.
You gotta have a little bit of meta humor. It makes things just a little bit better.
I mean, that's why Senpai got turned into a plushie, because we didn't want the video to get demonetized. And like that's what Monica literally said. Do you want to get the creator demonetized? We can't put gore in this video. Okay. So Chica, in that case, Golden Freddy says, let's put this into a vote. Actually, let's put this into a vote. Everyone in the audience, who do you vote for? We have Springtrap, and we have Freddy. Who should win? Anyway, going back to polyamory while people vote.
I mean, that's essentially that's basically where I come down on on it. It's it ultimately it's a whole lot of fucking work for something that you've already achieved.
Yes.
And it's totally fine, by the way, to just have a gut feeling of like, this isn't for me. But as someone who's experimented with it, it just doesn't seem like it's worth the time. And unless you're really craving, unless your brain is designed to really want multiple partners, unless the desire for multiple partners is something that is really strong in you, it doesn't seem like it's something that's worth your time. Uh it's like I said, it's hard enough to fucking find one partner, and once you find the person that's willing to do that, why put all this effort into getting another one when it risks something that you have already that might be really fucking great?
Yeah,
Just
it's basically from a practical standpoint, it doesn't work for you. So now I'm gonna unload on polyamory just a little bit, and then we can move
go
to
ahead.
Elon Musk. But by the way, voice lines will be recorded later on, once this comic is hashed out. However, while Alkins would work on the comic, this time I'm thinking doing the voice lines simultaneously as the comic, because last time, and part of the reason Fandom Island died was because I got voice lines 3 months later after waiting 2 months on the comic, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it was just almost like it was kind of too much. So I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not dealing with this anymore, because it was just a disappointment, man.
Yeah.
But
You want to strike while the iron's hot.
yes. Well, what other fandoms? Honestly, White Fox, you can add any fandoms at this point. Okay, so we're adding freaking Elon Musk in here. So, okay, so polyamory. Just so White Fox knows, Yandere Simulator is in here, by the way, just so you know. Baldi's basics, everything else. Actually, Jay Victory says you should ask someone who's in a successful polyamorous relationship on how it works. We can actually start interviewing people like that. That would be interesting.
Somebody, maybe Zake knows people on the internet. I know no one on the internet.
I know some people.
I've got,
I know people in real life who were in successful polyamorous relationships. Anyway,
well, if they're interested, maybe we could ask them.
Anyway, though, let's go back to the topic that I was saying, though. Reason why it wouldn't work for me is because I'm not like an angry person and stuff. Don't worry. I would rather like break up with my partner or anything than causing like drama or yell at them or something like that. But at the same time, I would be extremely jealous, like just sharing someone I love. I would.
That's natural.
That's
a totally.
I could not do it, and even the fact if when they. So actually, chat, judge me on this, as you vote for either Freddy or Springtrap. Yeah, we can add Cookie Run Kingdom and Genshin Impact, for sure. Oh, so White Fox says I wouldn't be in polyamory because I get jealous easily. Same here, same here. Even if your question though, everybody, would you be? I'm conflicted on this topic, but would you be personally like kind of wary of your partner? I mean, we discussed this kind of with Mr. Nobody as well off screen, but would you be wary of your partner if they propose the idea of an open relationship / polyamory into your monogamous relationship? And do you think it'll what's it called? Ruin uh not necessarily that. And do you think it might has the potential to ruin the relationship, even though they were honest with you? Like they were not a cheater, but they're like considering it. Would you get suspicious of your partner or no? We could add warrior cats and gingerbread man and all that stuff too. But Mr. Nobody, what do you think?
It for the cast or for polyamory?
Polyamory. So White Fox says, I support polyamorous people, it's just not really my cup of tea. Neither is it's mine, neither is Mr. Nobody's. Yeah, but we're still discussing it. Anyway, but what do you think of what I said? Like, do you think I have the right to get suspicious from my partner if they propose the idea? Or do you think
I don't know that right. I don't know that right is the correct way to frame it. The reality is that whenever you're dating someone, you can make any deal breaker you want. Like there are people who won't date Trumpers. There are people that won't date Democrats. I don't think it's any more unreasonable to say that you wouldn't date somebody who wants to be polyamorous than it is to say that you wouldn't date someone who voted for Trump.
But I'm not saying like someone who wants to be polyamorous. The fact that they think of it, that would be a good idea now, like for them. And I don't know, like that I think that would make. Oh, White Fox says I have the right to be suspicious. Ooh, it's getting heated.
Well, I'm not saying you don't. If it's a problem for you, and it's okay if it is, you should just tell your partner early on in the relationship that that's not going to happen. Like as I said, I've already experimented with this stuff, and my decision after experimenting is I'm never doing it again. So, I go into every one of my potential relationships letting my partner know, like, I don't care what happens. We're never doing this.
So LFG says, LFG says you should add Peter Griffin to be funny. I mean, we could add a cameo from Peter Griffin, but not now.
Cool.
Okay, so another vote for Springtrap. Jay Victory says I should be in a first relationship before even considering a polyamorous relationship. LOL.
Yeah, that might be the first step. Yeah.
Okay, so
like I said, it's fucking hard just to find one person, let alone multiple.
Springtrap gets a vote.
So Springtrap won?
No, it's tied right now between Freddy and Springtime. Springtrap.
Oh no, we might have to do a second vote. Maybe Freddy Fazbear's corporation will try to stomp down on us because we didn't vote quick enough.
By the way, guys, if you like more of these streams, like and subscribe. And if this stream actually gets more than 10 likes, this is gonna be like our main way of streaming, like writing stuff as we stream.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So far, this is fun. I'm liking the idea of spitballing. But so essentially, whatever your deal breaker is, and it can be anything.
Look at you, Mr. White Fox, having his first relationship in second grade.
Yeah.
Is that even a relationship in second grade? That probably lasted like a whole minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I got out of high school and I went on a Catholic missionary trip.
Where'd you go?
And part of the missionary trip, I had to make a vow of chastity. And you got to remember, I was 19 at the time, and that was not easy. But one of the kids I was working with, he was like in 5th grade or something, and I was teaching him I was helping him finish some kind of homework, and out of nowhere he's like, I have a girlfriend. And I'm like, you're in 5th grade, you don't have a girlfriend. He's like, do you have a girlfriend? And I was like, whatever, kid.
That's funny. Where did you go, by the way, for the Oh, by the way, we already made 3 episodes. This is episode 4, and the comics are already posted. LFG, if you want, LFG Lee, if you want to see them. Sure, we can use your version of Sans if need be, at least once. Anyway, but which did you go to a different country, or did you go to a different for your missionary trip?
I went to California.
Interesting. Do you want to tell? Do you want me to tell you something that I remembered? And you'll be like, "How the hell does he remember this?"
What?
I have no idea how I remember this, but you know what pissed you off during that trip? Ay ay ay! Mexican music.
Fuck you. God damn it!
Oh my gosh!
To explain that, I was in Boyle Heights, California. And Boyle Heights, California is an incredibly Hispanic neighborhood. And the building I lived in with priests was right next to a high school. And for whatever reason, this is where parents and kids would congregate to have all sorts of celebrations. So I would be trying to sleep with my window open because it was hot as fuck and the building didn't have AC. And there would be goddamn mariachi music at all hours of the fucking night. Oh my God, do I hate mariachi music. Like, Hispanic culture is lovely and I respect it, but if I could kill every single mariachi player, I would fucking do it. I would make them eat their own instruments. Fuck mariachi.
Yeah, I remember because by the way, I was dumb and I didn't know the concept of headphones back then. Now I do. But, like, I know. Like, you told me that when I was playing my Coldplay stuff back in 2013. And you're just like, as long as you don't play the mariachi music, I'm fine.
Yeah, fuck. Oh my God, fuck mariachi music. But anyway,
that was hilarious. Anyway. So, so what's his face? So add someone from My Hero Academia, LFG Lee, right? That's what you're saying. I mean, should we add someone from My Hero Academia or nah? That's too much.
It'd be interesting to see how Yandere would deal with that. Who was that character who would lick blood and it would paralyze people?
I don't remember.
I haven't watched Hero Academia in a while, but that villain he had a pretty great villain speech, and the way they animated him was pretty spectacular.
Someone is saying
he was one of the more interesting villains I'd seen in anime in recent years.
Okay, so his name's it's Himiko Toga. Toga. That's what the chat's saying, by the way, just so you know. Toga.
Cool.
Yes, we're on the road for 4,000 subs. Anyway.
Cool.
So, Yandere-chan will play a role, yes. And LFG Lee says, I'm Big Brain. Yes, you are Big Brain. All right, so it's a tie between Springtrap and Freddy. Jay Victory, who are you voting for? And everyone else, who are you voting for? Springtrap or Freddy? You're voting for Springtrap or Freddy, everybody. So LFG, I know you voted Springtrap.
By the way, we should put something in. If you guys don't vote and get somebody figured out, the corporation might find a way to influence the election.
Yes.
So you need to make sure that your voice is heard and that we choose somebody, because the corporation might choose someone for you.
Okay, Springtrap gets 3 votes. Freddy gets 1 vote. Oh, Freddy gets 1 more vote. Freddy gets 1 more vote, so 3 votes. Oh man, Jay Victor voted for Freddy, and I thought Springtrap was winning. So, okay, we can start talking about other stuff while we wait for the final vote to come in. Like 5-10 minutes to wait for the final vote, and if no one votes for Springtrap, Freddy actually wins.
One story I want to tell about that mission trip. Before I went on it, my mom, she had a friend, she had a black friend who lived in California, and my mom called her and said, you know, what's Boyle Heights like? And my mom's very black friend said, she said my mom's name, and then she said, black people don't go to Boyle Heights, which because it was so dangerous. Apparently, they had like the second at the time. They had like the second most dangerous gang in America.
Also, Aaron Found says, I literally know what high school you were talking about almost exactly. Anyway, going back, what's we're seeing on Boyle Heights to have the second highest murder rate?
No, second highest gang violence.
I see.
But anyway, we can move on to Neuralink.
Yes.
So Neuralink, for people that don't know, is a project that Elon Musk is working on. Basically, they want to put a chip in your brain. And he's saying that the first few rounds of Neuralink are going to be used to help people that are like quadriplegic, or you know, maybe there's a disconnect between their eyes and their brain. So they'll be used to solve medical problems. But I don't think he's adequately afraid of what the other repercussions are going to be. Because here's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting that within a month of Neuralink coming out and helping people with physical disabilities, there's going to be an Iranian hacker or something that makes diarrhea.exe and hacks into Neuralink servers.
You gave me a good idea. That's how Elon Musk is gonna stop animatronics and everybody, basically. Hey, we also reached 10 likes. Can you imagine that? Like, that should be. But this should be the plot point, actually. I think that's a good idea. Elon Musk is gonna, like, come in and, like, while everything just in Fandom Island is falling apart, he comes in and just saves the day by, installing Diarrhea EXE.
Somebody's going to make a virus that just forces everybody to shit their pants or something. I guarantee something like that's going to happen. You have uncontrollable diarrhea for months until they can figure out how to remove the virus.
They have to. I'm sorry, the anti-diarrheal patch has not come out yet. But we've done the hot fix. What do you mean the hot fix? Well, it's a patch. You don't get diarrhea, but you pee uncontrollably. Okay. Also, okay. So Freddy wins. Freddy
Freddy wins.
wins. Okay, so animatronics. Panel 3. Animatronics. Oh, vote. Everyone looks very serious. 4 votes for Freddy. 3 votes for Springtrap. Okay. Panel 4. Freddy. It looks like I won. The people have spoken. Springtrap. I am pretty sure the corporation. I'm pretty sure corporate rigged this vote. What do you think?
He could say that, and then he could say, "But I'll bounce back next time."
Ha! But I'll bounce back next time.
What do you think? Do you think corporate influenced the vote, or do you think that people really did vote for Freddy? What do you think we should go with?
Obviously, it was corporate.
It was corporate. Now
because Jay Victory, despite everything, you know who he is?
Who is he?
He is a moderator on this channel.
Oh, okay. So corporate one.
It's a corporate one, yes.
So, is Freddy gonna introduce Elon Musk and like totally agree to all of his ideas, and the animatronics realize that like, man, we're being fucked, and now even that we got a union together,
yeah,
it still doesn't matter because
we could do that, yes.
And
apparently, she was working with. Freddy was working with Monica and Sans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so also the fact that he has his brother Golden Freddy, there's accusations of nepotism there too. So yeah, Neuralink. What else is your concern? The fact that it can read all your dreams?
Yeah. So that's going to be the next step. Eventually, like the goal, like Elon Musk has talked about on Joe Rogan about how this is possibly gonna transform us into some kind of cyborg, like a step along the transhumanist path. And I think this is incredibly dangerous for multiple reasons. Like, as I've said, there's going to be hackers that are fucking with you all the time. But even like banal shit, like imagine some Karen mother writes to Elon Musk and she's like, "I am a concerned mother. My daughter rolls her eyes at me every single day, and I want you to write a program that makes her feel like she's being fucked in the ass every time she rolls her eyes so that she knows what kind of a pain in the ass she is for me." And that's going to be like the easy shit. Like, imagine Neuralink it gets to the point where it's heavily used by everybody. And you have a 15-year-old daughter, you go up and you wake up to your daughter screaming. And you go up to your daughter's room. Honey, what the fuck's going on? Why are you screaming at the top of your lungs? There's nothing. She's not cut. Nothing's happening. She's just screaming. Like you think maybe she's having a bad dream. And then she says in like a robot voice or some shit, "We have captured your daughter's Neuralink password. We have control of her brain. She is in hell.exe 2.0 until you send us $1 million."
Yes. It's like...
And go ahead.
It's like that for ransomware, basically. Neuralink ransomware.
Yeah, they ransom your daughter's brain or some shit. And you go to the cops and you're like, "Hey, how do we get this taken care of?" And the cops are like, "Well, hackers are always ahead of us these days, and unfortunately, we can't get your daughter out of hell 2.0.exe." So your best bet is to pay the $1 million. And you're like, "I don't fucking have $1 million. And plus, what's my guarantee that the hacker won't keep her in hell 2.0?
You can't pay $1 million. You only can pay in Bitcoin.
Yeah, but what's the guarantee that the hacker won't keep her there? Won't like make this permanent? The cop will be like, "There actually isn't a guarantee. You have no guarantee."
I mean, you know how your computer gets fixed? It's like, imagine there's like a special techno doctor that specializes in freaking Neuralink medicine now. Oh yes, I'm a Neuralinkmologist. I'm both a programmer and a doctor at the same time.
You're joking, but that's probably going to become like a profession at some point.
Brain repair shops popping up everywhere.
Yeah, there would probably be in the future, once Neuralink becomes commonplace, there'll probably be doctors who specialize in both computer technology and also brain science. And like, back to that example of hell 2.0.exe, the guy's like, "Well, what is hell 2.0.exe?" And the police officers, "Well, it's hell, to the best that they could approximate it. Your daughter's being tortured forever." Well, what's the 2.0 mean? 2.0 is time dilation. They figured out how to replicate the effect of DMT. So every minute that passes in this world, your daughter spends 6 months in hell.
See you, Adam Found. Thank you for joining us. Also, by the way, you should really watch Black Mirror. They literally had the same kind of episode, just so you know.
Yeah.
Like with everything, with Neuralink, with what's it called, hacking the brain, and like the DMT thing, and so on and so forth. It's actually very interesting.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Like I said, unfortunately, all I have is my phone. So watching Netflix videos is not as gratifying as it is on a TV. Usually, I just watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos because that's the kind of nonsense that I can just have in the background.
Yeah. All right. So Freddy is in front. So let's come back to this. Freddy is in front of the animatronics. We need a very what's it called, inspiring speech from Freddy, Mr. Nobody. Care to contribute? I mean, fans can also contribute, but what do you think Freddy should say?
My fellow animatronics, today we have reached a momentous occasion where we have come together as a union. I know there has been a lot of... What?
Momentous occasion.
Yeah. We have come together as a union.
That we have come together here as a union?
I know there has been a lot of rabble about nepotism,
Has been a
about
lot of what?
rabble rousing.
Rabble rousing. About nepotism.
About corporate influence.
About corporate influence.
But I am here to say that these claims are utterly and completely false.
That these claims are utterly nice and completely false.
False.
Okay.
As your democratically elected leader, I will represent our values, our needs, and our terms to the corporation with steadfastness, confidence,
Our terms with our needs, our terms with
steadfastness, strength, and courage.
And courage. No, the Fandoms are on the same island also, and someone says, imagine Papyrus committing a tax fraud, like one of the characters. Anyway. Continue.
Let's say, what else? I was so convinced of the people's support of my candidacy that I had already, months ago, started the process of negotiating. Go ahead.
So I was so convinced of the people's support of my candidacy, so continue.
So I, months ago, had already started the process of writing up terms that we could present to the corporation.
That started the process. So months ago, I have started the process that.
Months ago, I had started the process of writing up terms that I could present to the corporation.
Of writing up terms that I could present to the corporation. Okay? What's next?
I think you'll all be glad to know that I have been in meetings with a very special leader of industry.
That I have been in meetings with a very special leader in the industry. Yeah.
This man is hailed as a prophet by
also,
many.
LFG, have a great day. Yeah, no, I get your ideas. Just so you know, Senpai died. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yes, we come back to this. A very special leader in this industry. This
leader is hailed as a prophet and perhaps even the savior of animatronic kind.
Okay, I think you will be glad to know that I have been in meetings with a very special leader in the industry. This. Okay, can you say that I was distracted by chat? Oh, Senpai got turned into a plushie. Okay, you were saying? I've been meeting with this very. I have been in
This
meetings.
figure has been hailed as a prophet and a savior of animatronic kind.
Has been hailed as the prophet and the savior of the animatronic kind.
Many of you know his name.
Many of you know his name.
He is the cosmic big brain man, also known as Elon Musk.
As Elon Musk. Anyway, is that the last line before hell breaks loose in the
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah, and then all hell breaks loose.
Okay. So panel 6. Panel 6. Freddy Fazbear's pizza is burning. It's burning basically now. Burning and smoking. Okay, now we can actually get to Sans and Monica, who usually just watch TV shows while... Yes, Ayano is still alive, White Fox. She's still alive. So is Kakona. Ayano's alive and Kakona's alive. Anyway, so basically, this is like that was like the all hell just breaks loose. The whole building is burning and everything. And okay, so meanwhile, this is page 2. It says panel 1. Meanwhile, so Monica and Sans are watching TV. So what should be on the TV, by the way? Just something like a reference to a video game or something hilarious or maybe disturbing. Just not showing it. Just
in the latest news, the big daddies in BioShock have been Me Too'd as exploiting their daughters for free labor. Their little sisters for free labor.
In the latest news, the big daddy,
Big daddies from Rapture, I should say.
the big daddies from Rapture got canceled for using their daughters as child labor.
No, they're little sisters.
The little sisters as child labor. Okay, so Monica says, "Huh? I guess the rapture is getting worse by the day." And Sans says, "I don't have a nose." And nose, but do you smell something? Monica says, "Yeah, it smells like pizza and what else?"
Jews.
No, we can't say that. I mean, I'm Jewish. He has a pass to say that, but still.
I'm sorry. Pizza. I had to make a Holocaust joke. I should have said burning Jews, not just Jews.
Or Bernie. Anyway.
Pizza and melting. What are the suits made out of for the animatronics? Let's say cotton. No, melting polyester. Cotton burns.
Yes, and melting polyester. I thought we shot the Freddy's Fazbear. Oh, someone says melting essential oils.
That'll work.
I thought we shut down the animatronics and Freddy's Fazbears. What gives? And panel 2. There's a like knocking on the door. Knocking on the door. Sans and Monica look at each other. Who could that be? So, Sans and Monica look at each other. Who could that be? Who do you think it could be?
I think it'll be Elon Musk.
Yeah, it's gonna be Elon Musk, yes. But at the same time, it's like, who could that be? Sans. Maybe it's Papyrus? Okay, we should say exotic butters. That's what the audience demands. Pizza and melting exotic butters. Okay.
That'll work.
Maybe it's Papyrus? Panel 3. The door opens. And standing there is Elon Musk. Man, this we haven't taken anything, and this comic already seems like a trip. Right, Mr. Nobody?
It's been fun. Yeah.
What do you think Elon Musk is saying?
He's probably on the phone. Like he's like they open the door and he super rudely holds out a finger and they're like, and like Monica and Sans are like, dude, you fucking opened, you knocked on our door. Why are you on the phone?
He's holding his phone and talking gibberish. And basically holds his finger up to shut Monica and Sans down. Right?
And maybe they don't say anything, but again, they look at each other like, dude, he opened he knocked on our door. Why is he on the phone?
By the way, do you remember someone with this name from your floor?
No.
I do. She was annoying as heck.
I was annoying as heck.
You weren't. I was also annoying, but at the same time, like, these people were mean-spirited. Anyway, to shut Monica and Sans down, Monica whispering to Sans. He literally knocked on our door. I am in charge here. What gives? How did he come to this island? Sans. Did you forget that he was one of our most gracious donors? What donors? We don't need donors. Cents. A lot of Jay Victory says he's ordering more flamethrowers, basically. What donors? We don't need donors. A lot of deals happen behind closed doors. Closed doors, Monica. Okay. Monica. Sans, this is the last straw. I am going to, and then in the other page 3, Elon Musk finally hangs up his phone. And what does he say?
So we've seen the way he talks in Joe Rogan. He pauses a lot and he uses a lot of big words and he talks in very trade specific vocab. So include words that are specific to what he does or that are actually totally made up and they have no idea what they mean because they're not even real words. Hello, Monica and Sans. I'm here to talk about trade-specific goals of the Falcon engine and how it can affect your animatronic designs or something of that nature. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me. Hangs up the phone. We have a massive. How would you say that? We have a massive technological, or what would be a big word? We have. Yo. We have a massive what?
I'm thinking of a word. What would be a really big word? Or a word that means something else.
We have.
What's that word?
Yes.
We have a massive event with an upcoming event horizon. We have a massive
event horizon.
Yeah, we have a massive event horizon occurrence coming up in the near future.
In the near future. This island will be in distress. Oh, coming in the near future. This island will be in a conundrum you cannot fathom.
And then put in there long pause. He looks off and when he's thinking, he looks off into the distance, maybe have him looking at the sun for no apparent reason. And Monica and Sans just kind of stand there awkwardly waiting for him to continue.
And then it's we're gonna do it on page 4. Hold on. Hold on. We have a massive event horizon occurrence coming up in the near future. The island will be in a conundrum you cannot fathom.
No, you could have that pause and that looking at the sun before the word fathom.
Oh, right. We can make it a separate speech bubble.
You'll be like, you cannot pause, looks at the sun. Monica and Sandra are like, what the fuck's going on? And then he says the word fathom.
Huh. Hold on. Monica. 2 cents. Is he even human? Even human? And Sans says,
I think his lizard brain is cooking.
I don't know. I'm a skeleton. But I think his lizard brain is cooking. There we go. Elon says Fathom. Monica, I demand to know what you are talking about.
I wish I knew a whole bunch of computer and brain terms. That way I could just insert them in here and it would be totally gobbledygook.
Elon basically goes like, now finally simplifies it. Your technology is rising against you. They are trying to establish, they're trying to seize the means of production that we have, created. You know? And Monica
That'll
goes,
work.
And Monica goes like, this is my island. What are you talking about, we? Oh my gosh. You know what could be a very interesting scenario?
What?
Is that Monica actually, like, surprisingly, Elon takes over the island, and Monica actually joins with the animatronics, and they actually manage to win. Like, and then they fight Elon and his goonies, if you know what I'm saying.
Maybe like, and now we're gonna take your rocket and send you to the moon. You weird lizard person.
It's like, what are you talking about, we? Okay.
So let's put in a whole bunch of conspiracy names. Like, well, I am a member of the Illuminati, the Stonemasons, the Transnational Lizard Corporation, blah, blah, blah. Like a whole bunch of weird conspiracy names.
Well, I am a member.
Well, and then the whole bunch of whatever.
And the Illuminati. The lizard brain corporation. Who else? The Cabal.
Masonic Lodge.
The Masonic Lodge. Mark Zuckerberg. And who else?
Bohemian Grove.
And let's just talk about Bohemian. And the Bohemian. I really admire you guys. Cookie Lauer says, I really admire you guys for being able to write this masterpiece. Thank you. I know about you, Mr. Nobody, but I like writing comics. What about you?
I like writing anything. I don't usually like. One of the things that sucks about being me is how lazy I am, and so even though I have lots of opportunities
I can
to
see your
write,
I can see your messages, White Fox. You said Monica and Ayano need to partner up. Yeah, they'll partner up. Trust me. And the Bohemian what?
Bohemian Grove. You never heard of that?
No, I think so.
Yeah, look. If you haven't, look it up. There's no point in going into this video. Alex on it. It's pretty hilarious.
So, well, I and the Illuminati, the Lizard Brain Corporation, the Cabal, the Masonic Lodge, Mark Zuckerberg, and the Bohemian Grove.
Are
Sponsored by my very own Neuralink. Have decided that this situation, this breach, cannot be ignored. Right?
that'll work.
Okay, so on page 4, Monica tries to delete him. Hold on.
How does she delete people? Does she like point at them and
No,
shout
no, no,
delete?
no, no, no. You know what she does?
What'd she do?
She literally uses the programming of the universe to do that, basically.
And then
Alright,
what
see
should
you, J.
happen
Victor.
then?
So here's what happens. Monica, looking at Elon and Sans angrily. That's it! I've had enough. Elon.exe start erasure. She's going to go programming or something like that. If you know what I'm saying.
Then Elon starts to speak, but what you should do is put in the quote from Call of Cthulhu about Relea and Cthulhu, and like she tries to delete him, but that speech totally nullifies her attempt.
Yes, yes. Elon, what does he say?
Let me look up the quote. I might have to spell it for you. It's a whole bunch of gibberish. One moment. Call of Cthulhu Relaya dialogue there. Where is it? Where is it? That's not what I wanted. Relay quote. There it goes. So I'm gonna have to spell this out for you because there's no way you'll know what it is.
Just copy and paste on Discord.
Oh, okay.
And I'll copy it.
Copy link. No, that's not it.
Not link, just a quote.
God damn it. Excuse my incompetence again. I'm on my phone. I don't have any.
He's an old man. By the way, J.
I'm a
Victor.
boomer.
You know what's really interesting? J. Victor went to school with us at the same time as we did. Just so you know. So we have a lot
but he probably. Yeah, but he's probably not as. He's probably smarter at the internet than I am. I'm kind of a. R slur, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Where is it? Call it. There we go. That's not what I don't want the link. Here it is.
Man rages at cloud. Anyway.
There it is. Found it. Let me copy you. There we are. Copy. Hopefully I don't link porn on accident. What? What? Okay. That's not what I wanted. Mission Zake. Paste. There. Did you get it?
Let's see. I got it.
Finglui Migwalanatha Cthulhu Relaya Waganal Fatagan.
It sounds German.
It's made up.
Still sounds German. Atagen.
I suppose. Which is kind of ironic because H.P. Lovecraft was probably intended for that to sound like some kind of African proto speech.
But it turned out sounding like German.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, what's his face? Lovecraft was racist.
Who?
Lovecraft.
Yeah, Lovecraft was racist, yeah.
Okay, so... Sense. Elon Musk... error message. Elon Musk cannot be deleted. Right? Elon Musk cannot be deleted. Monica. Surprised. Monica. No, Sans looks surprised. You have avoided what we all feared the most on this island. You have overridden Monica's administrative... What's it called? Administrative what? Rights?
Powers.
Administrative powers! All hail Elon! Monica. How? This is not possible. This is my island.
And Elon says, and this is my reality.
This is my reality. I have purchased the source code. I have purchased the source code. Now, Monica, you either have to cooperate with me, or I will have to suspend your privileges. I will overlook the attempt of erasure. Right?
That looks good. How many pages is your comic usually?
What? How
You
many
know?
pages? Pages usually 10 or 7 or 8.
Oh, okay, I don't. I know how long it usually goes.
Not that long.
This might be a multi-parter because there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, honestly, it is gonna be a multi-parter because this is insane. Because we still have to. What does? You know what's really hilarious?
What?
If Elon basically sends Monica to the to the like contestants. He demotes her to the level of the contestants.
Yeah, and then she joins the animatronics. Yeah.
She joins the animatronics. She joins the guys who like are participants because she's the host, and then she regains her what's it called position as host, right? And then they go,
Yeah,
well,
but how do?
are you gonna be a benevolent leader now? And she goes like, she basically deletes all of the animatronics.
Yeah,
That would be hilarious.
that would be a good betrayal.
I think that's Monica. So anyway, as you can see, you have Natsuki, Kara, Yuri, Sayori still. Frisk is still alive. Yandere Shen is still alive, and all those folks are still alive. So, what does Monica do that like gets her demoted now? What do you think? How does she resist against the
She
Elon?
tries to get Yandere and obsessed with Elon.
That's what she's going to do. Yes, but I'm talking. But I'm talking about now. Like, what is her fuck up that she gets like basically gets demoted from like administrator from host to contestant.
So she already tried to delete it. Maybe she tries to kill him.
Oh boy. Yeah, that should be ridiculous. That shouldn't work. Monica, what does she take out? Takes out a big.
She takes out a FAMAS Rombo, a 4-barrel shotgun.
She could do that, but I like this idea. A big hammer with ban hammer etched onto it. Onto the top of the hammer, the side. Monica says, what does she say? I will do a huge squeaky hammer, and Elon says, that's not gonna do anything. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. A big squeaky. Etched
Big squeaky.
Big squeaky hammer with bad hammer etched onto the side of the hammer. Onto the side. Elon. That's
So he shouldn't just be like all but like there should be like a huge like consequence like a huge show of force by Elon. Maybe he turns into a monster or something. No, he reaches out a hand and it turns into a clawed lizard. Stops the hammer in mid swing.
Yeah, it's like Elon. That's not going to do anything. Monica. It will ban you off this island. Out the silent. Now die. Okay. Okay. So. This all happened in 2 panels. Let's do panel 3. So this is panel 3. And guess what happens?
What happens?
Oh yeah, so Sans, I'm actually gonna enter this. This is a good idea, Cookie Lover. Sans is sitting on the couch eating popcorn, right? Or watching everything unfold. Elon stops the hammer with a deformed claw. Crab claw.
And they should. I don't know how good your artists are, but it should be like there should be like sparks and shit. Like it should look like the band hammer is trying to erase him, but it's just not working at all.
Sparks and smoke coming from the band hammer. Monica. By the way, Cookie Lover, if you like this, please give us a like.
If this is the kind of nonsense you enjoy, we enjoy making it. Just let us know and we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, this is what people enjoy, basically. I'm not even kidding. Like, these streams get more views than any of my gaming streams. Monica's like, uh-oh. And Elon is like, now you will witness the true power of Elon. Or do you have something less cringe to say?
You should say something about how his voice modulates or starts to sound like some kind of demon or something.
No, we can make it sound like that.
Okay.
Because that's you realize these are gonna be voice acted, right?
Oh, okay, cool. So maybe he says, I was benevolent to you once, but you continue to defy the masters of this universe and the owners of source code.
Benevolence.
You shall be lowered to the position
of contestant,
of a commoner.
Of contestants, basically, of the other people that are in the dorms. That are like, I was benevolent to you once, but you have interfered with the masters of the source code. However, I will show you my benevolence once more. Instead of erasing you from existence, you are therefore demoted to the
status of contestant.
Oh my gosh, the contestants are gonna beat her up. Poor Monica. No! Monica, no! Just erase me! No! Just erase me! Please! I mean, I think we should wrap it up soon. But, like, we should finish this page. What do you think?
Yeah, we finish this page and then we can spend, like, a few minutes talking about the movie, some movies that were important to us and end it.
No, please! No, erase me, please! Please don't put me... Put me with the contestants! And, panel 4. Monica disappears into thin air. Okay. Sans still eating popcorn. Saying, dang, this got good. Elon. Come now, my underling. You are now an official Neuralink employee. Let's build this island into a grand utopia.
We can stop there. I think that's a good place to stop for now.
Oh no, I know where. You know what would be the best place to stop?
Where?
This is where the page is gonna end for you all. Panel 5. Monica appears in the dorms of the contestants, who are surrounding her, looking angry. Like, looking outraged. Monica. Guys! Guys, I can explain! Explain! Please! Don't hurt me! Okay, and that's the end for today. Yes, so important movies.
So, the one I wanted to talk about most for myself was Fried Green Tomatoes.
What's that movie about?
So, Fried Green Tomatoes is, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, female empowerment movie. It passes the Bechdel test pretty admirably. At least I think it does. I mean, there's multiple times they don't talk about men, if I remember the movie correctly. But anyway, that's not all. So, Fried Green Tomatoes, the main story is about a woman in her 40s and her husband in his late 40s. And she's about to go through what's the word? The change. She's about to get to the point where she can no longer have children.
Oh, right.
Their sex life has kind of died off as they've aged, and which sucks for her because women tend to get more sexually, their sexual appetite tends to grow into their 30s and 40s. At least that's what I've heard. But it's strongly implied by the movie that she wants to revamp their sex life, but the husband is probably having none of it. And it's really about challenging this Southern belle kind of, the Southern lady kind of
stereotype
trope. It's in America, this Southern lady trope is about how a woman should be refined and dignified, but always listen to her husband. She doesn't work. She takes care of the kids. She makes meals. Blah 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 blah. Typical patriarchy enforcement stuff. But the movie, she's introduced to an elderly woman in a nursing home, And the elderly woman tells her a story of two women in like the late 50s or late 50s or no, early 50s or late 40s, and how they overcame several societal pressures and became strong and fast friends and showed each other that they could survive in a world that was against women and against black people, and all sorts of things. It's full of amazing characters. And one of the and the main reason I think it's the best female empowerment movie is because it was smart enough to get men to watch it by including a little bit of cannibalism.
Huh.
I don't mean to spoil things, but
is that did they cook them with fried green tomatoes?
What?
Did they cook them with fried green tomatoes?
So no, what happens is
let's not spoil it, but what does happen?
So what happens is these two women are friends, and one woman gets married, and her friend comes to visit her, and the woman is clearly being.
Yes.
The woman initially turns her away, but later on, her friend gets a letter basically saying, "I'm pregnant and I want to come."
I see.
And they get away from him with the help of a incredibly large black man. Which again, it's in the 40s, so I'm sure the white man in that movie wasn't particularly overjoyed at being intimidated by a lowly black person, at least from his perspective.
I see.
They open a restaurant and they serve black people. There's still laws that they have to obey, and there's only so much they can do. So the black people eat outside, but it's clear that most of the white men in the town disapprove of them eating there at all. And they serve black people. There's a drunk that comes in who's trying to sober up, and he has the shakes real bad. And they give him free food, and they help him eat because he can't even get corn into his mouth. But it's an amazing movie with so many good characters and strong themes.
Who's the director?
I don't know who I don't really care about directors. All I really care about is movies. But basically what happens is eventually the man using a Ku Klux Klan attack as a disguise, he tries to get his child back, and he gets murdered. And basically the rest of the movie is them trying to get away with killing him. And it's not
the
clear.
movie's set in the 1920s, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Well, I was wrong about the time period.
Even worse.
Exactly. So the movie's got a lot of different themes, but ultimately the movie is about coming to terms with about a woman, about how women in the late, I want to say that the main plot that it happens outside the stories is like if the stories take place in the 20s, then I want to say that the main plot takes place in probably the 60s or the 70s. But it's basically about a woman entering men's world and asserting herself and claiming an equal partnership in her marriage and getting her husband to realize that he's going to have to step up and do some more things. He can't just sit in front of the TV and eat her meals, and she needs more from him.
I see.
And every time I watch that movie, I think of my mom. And in my opinion, if it's not the best female empowerment movie, it's one of them.
That makes sense. I might give it a watch because I have a lot of free time this semester. So, also apparently the guy. I mean, you said you don't care about directors, but the guy who made Fried Green Tomatoes also made The War, Up and Close Up Personal, The Red Corner, 88 Minutes, Righteous Kill, Three Christ, and Four Good Days.
Huh. I'll have to watch. I'll have to look those up to see whether or not it was a fluke or whether or not he.
What do you think of Argentina anyway?
How
Well,
about you? What was an important movie for you?
for me, it's more TV shows than movies, but let me think. I would say one of the most important movies that got me into watching more movies was The Lady in Black with Daniel Radcliffe. I mean, I was watching movies before that, obviously, but they were all Russian dubs and everything. But Lady in Black was a horror movie that was actually pretty good in my opinion. I mean, there was some cheesy parts to it, but it actually was terrifying. There weren't much jump scares, but they were very good, well timed. Mostly, what was scary about the movie was the atmosphere and the way they portrayed this like angry spirit in this Victorian mansion.
Cool. I think I've seen that, but it was so long ago that I don't remember.
The first one was okay, but I didn't watch the second one because people say it kind of sucks. But you know what I want to watch though?
What?
There's a horror anthology on Shudder, which I have an account for, called VHS.
Oh, I've watched that.
I really want to watch that. Is that good?
So there's ups and downs. But there is one particular segment. A drunk guy is in a bar and he starts hitting on a girl, and all she said, and they found an amazing girl. She has the biggest eyes, and she does so well to make it clear that she's creepy as fuck. But the guy's drunk enough to where all he sees is a hot.
He's the what?
All he sees is a hot leg.
I see.
You know, and it's really good, that one. But the rest are hit and miss.
Apparently, there's more seasons now, and it got good since season 2, from what I've heard. Did you watch both seasons or just one?
There's a movie called VHS. Are you talking about a show called VHS?
The show.
Okay, I'm talking about the movie. I haven't seen the show.
I want to see the show. Well, that's on Shudder.
If it's based on the movie, it might be really great. The second movie was terrible. Just honestly.
Yeah, speaking of terrible movies, we should go ahead and do our movie reviews at some point.
Yeah, once I'd love to do. Once I get a laptop, I'd love to do edited reviews. There's loads of movies I would love to spit venom at. There's one in particular, the remake of Ben-Hur. If you haven't seen the Ben-Hur movie with Charlton Heston, you gotta watch that movie. That movie is amazing. The chariot scene alone is worth whatever the movie costs. But the entire movie is just a fucking masterpiece. There are some flaws, but the flaws really don't affect just how amazing that movie is. But the remake, the most recent version, that was, I think you said it was made in 2016.
Yes.
The remake is god awful. Just a fucking a boil on a pimply ass.
So basically,
Just-
it's
just
made you
wreck.
so it made you so angry that you are like just still full of rage. You know, there was this one movie called Rubber that after watching it, that movie just made me absolutely angry because it was so stupid.
I watched Rubber. It was stupid, but I liked the speech at the beginning. The beauty of this movie is dedicated to the art of no reason.
Remember that, yeah.
But honestly, that speech sells a movie that it doesn't live up to. Honestly,
No, the freaking that movie was bad. Movie was horrible. Anyway,
it was fucking weird.
anyway.